Hi everybody, Patty Ann here again today. Hey, yesterday I showed you how to do strip quilting. I used my treadle machine, one that you have to use your foot to use. No electricity is used for it. And I showed how to do strip quilting like this using telephone book pages because they're really easy to remove when you're done. Well, today I'm going to go over how to use Embrilliance. And so I know you guys really love the Embrilliance tutorials, so that's what I'm going to do today. And I'll probably even stitch something out. So let's get started. Okay, as you can see behind me or on the screen, this is what I'm going to make. I'm going to make coasters that say toasting in the new year, and I'm going to add the date of 2024 on here. Okay. And one other reason you may enjoy watching this is because they recommend that you sew it out on vinyl. And so many people have problems or questions about using vinyl. So I'm going to have a link for you down below on the vinyl that I like to use, the pleather or faux leather. And I'm going to show you how I go about using it. So I have already purchased this. And when you purchase it, it will look like this. It'll come in zipped up if you're using a Windows machine. Once it comes in like this and you click on it, you want to say extract all. And when you extract it, it's going to come into another folder that doesn't have a zipper on it. These you can use. You might be able to see what's in the zipped one, but you're not going to be able to use these. They have to be extracted. So make sure that you extract them first. Then go to the folder that doesn't have a zipper on it. When you open that, these are the ones you'll be able to use. Now, if I right click over here to the right, I can say view large icons, and it lets me see everything that's in here. Now, these are some photos, obviously, but I'm going to go back to view and I'm going to say details, because here's where I'm going to want to choose the type of a file that I need for my machine. Now, of course, if you're using an Embrilliance, you can save it however you need to, but I might as well just open the PES file to start with because that's what I use for my brother machines. So I'm going to double click on this to open it. And it should open right here in Embrilliance, and there it is. Over here I can look and it shows me the different steps that are going to be stitched out. And remember down here, I think I'll put 2024. Okay, here's the design again, and let's think about how it's going to stitch out. I do want it to have two layers, a top layer that has all of the toasting in the new year text on it, and then the bottom layer that doesn't have that on it because it would be ugly and backwards. So I'm going to have two layers. So let's look and see how they have organized this to stitch out by using the stitch simulator. We can come way up here to this thing that looks like a needle, click on that, and that brings up the stitch simulator. And I'll hit this little button over here to say play, and it's going to show us exactly what's going to happen. Now, that's a little slow, so I can use this thing to speed it up a bit so we can see what's happening. So first it's doing this tan color. Next will be this kind of off-whitey color. And then another little bit greener tan with the word toasting in the... And then New Year is going to be in silver. At the very end, right now, let's pause it. Right now, when it gets to this part here, it's going to be, you're going to stop your machine, put your extra piece underneath with the right side facing down, and I'll show you this, and then you're going to stitch this. But oh wait, we want to put 2024 here. Do we want to do that after this step? No, we want to do it before that step. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, here we are again. I've just enlarged it so you could see it more easily. Again, whoopsie, let's make it big again. What happened there? Okay, there we go. So again, the last thing that's going to stitch is this border around here that's going to attach the front and the back. but we still need to put 2024 in here. So I'm going to come up here to create letters, and automatically it puts in the ABC. I'm going to come over here and change the text to 2024. Okay, and hit enter. There it is. And I can make it smaller. And I can bring it down here. And if I'd like it to be in the same rotation of the new year, I can take this little blue button here and twirl it around like that and move it however I'd like it to be. But I think I liked it just straight on. So I'm going to undo and undo. There we go. However, it's not in the right place for stitching, because if you look here at the stitch simulator again, it's going to go through everything. Then it's going to sew or embroider or attach the front to the back right here. You can see that line. Let's change that to a different color. I'm going to make that red so it's easy to see. This is the last one. I'm going to come down here where it says color, click on this, and I'm going to change this to the view of threads so I can see all of the colors, and I'm going to change it to a red. Say okay. So that red is what's going to sew the front and the back pieces together. Okay. So again, it's going to do that outline, that stuff, the little text, the other text in silver. It's going to sew the front to the back, and then it's going to do the year. We don't want it like that, because that's going to look really, really ugly on the back piece of your pleather or your leather, whatever you're using. And not only is it going to look ugly because of the white bobbin thread, it's going to look ugly because it's going to be backwards. So we want this to stitch before this. So in order to do that, all we have to do is click on this, hold down your mouse key. See how I'm able to drag it up? I'm going to click on this silver right here, right there. Let it go. I'm going to release my mouse now. And notice it's going to do the silver. And then the next thing it's going to do, the silver, and then the letters, and then the vermilion or the red to stitch them together. So let's look if we got that right. So we have this. Let's click off first. And wait. So we have this, and then that shading, and then the letters, and New Year. There's the 2024. It's going to stitch before I put the backing on. Then I'm going to do the backing. And of course, just because this is purple doesn't mean I have to do it in purple. Since it's a different color than the silver for New Year, it's just going to stop my machine in case I want to change the color. And you know what? I do think I might like it better like that. Maybe move it up here. What do you think? Needs to be twirled a little tiny bit more. Okay. I like it. Like it a lot. Okay. So that's how I would make my coasters this year. So let's go over to the machine now and check it out. Okay, I did want to take a moment to show you how you would save this to use this in your embroidery machine. So I would come up here to File, and I would save the stitch file. Save the stitch file. If I wanted it to be a working file that I could go ahead and change later, again, I would save the stitch and working file. But I'm just going to save the stitch file as, and for my machine, I would change it to a PES. You can make yours whatever of these machines works for you, and I would name it whatever I like. Now the other thing that I did do on mine was I had the thumb drive in here, so I looked down here until I found my thumb drive, which I don't have in here anymore, and I clicked on that. Okay, let's pretend like it's this. Clicked on that, and then I saved it as a name and said save, and that would save it on my thumb drive or my USB drive that I could take over to my machine. Okay, before we go to the machine, I just wanted to show you, here is the leather that I'm using. I'm using a 4x4 hoop, and I'm using my little teeny tiny embroidery machine. So I'm going to put this here, and I'm just going to cut right up along here. Now, if I wasn't so lazy, I'd go over and get my rotary cutter because it would be a lot easier. But I'm kind of feeling lazy, so I'm just going to use these scissors and cut up through here. So sorry about the wiggling. All right, so that's that. And remember, there's going to be a front and the back to this. So let's see, if I fold this just in half, will that work? Oh, perfect. So what I can do now is I can just kind of fold this so I can see where to cut with my scissors, and just cut this like this. I really love this pleather. Like I said, I'll have a link for you down below. So then, let's see, where's the other part of my hoop? Oh, here it is. So I'm going to put loosen this way up. Now, it's not going to matter if I get hoop marks on this because it's going to be cut. If I was worried about that, I would hoop this a different way, but it's going to be fine to do it like that. So I'm going to just hoop this in here. This stuff is very, very stable, so you don't need much in the way of stabilizer because this stuff is quite stable on its own, as you can see. So I'm going to just tighten this, and then I'll take this over to the machine. Okay, now we're ready to get started on the machine. I've already placed, I have an extra piece here that I purchased from Amazon, and I placed my USB or my thumb drive in here because I don't want to mess with this too much and have that perhaps foul up and not be good anymore. So I have that hooked into there. I'm going to go here and find my design. So retrieving the patterns, maybe you can see that. I'm going to use these arrows to get to it. There's my piece of toast. Click on that and hit the up arrow, and it puts it directly into place. Then I'm going to take my hoop and simply put it in here like this and make sure that it's in there good. Okay, it seems to be good. All right, so then the other thing I needed to do, like I said I was going to do, was to put some water-soluble stabilizer on here. So let me get that, and I'll put that on. And this is just going to keep the threads from going down inside a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. And I'm just going to lay it right up here for now. I also want to change my thread color. Right now I have a white color thread on here. Some of my browns that I have. Let's see, what do we like? Browns. And I think I'll go with maybe that. That's a nice color right there. I think I'll use that one instead of this really, really dark one. So put this on here. And then just thread the machine. And I won't go through this for all the colors, but I will bring you back when it's time to place the under piece there. Okay, so that should be ready to go. I can put down my pressure foot. Notice that the green light becomes available then, and just hit the go button. And my water soluble should just stay in place. Yep, perfect. All right, I'll meet you back here when it's time to go ahead and put the under piece under here. Okay, at this point now, I decided to do it all in this tealy color because that's one of my favorite colors. But as you can see, the back is rather ugly because of all the lines and the white from the bobbin. So that's at what time we're going to put this piece on the back okay, like so, right underneath of it. And I actually could probably get 2 out of here because it's not going to have to be as big, but I have to make sure it's going to stay right underneath of there. So what I can actually do is put this back into place, and I already have changed my thread color. Make sure that's right. Now remember, you want to have the good side facing down or out so that when you take it out, it's going to be what shows. So now I'm going to place this under here, making sure that it goes far enough that it's going to be covered in this. And there, that's perfect like that. I can feel it actually right here. So I've got my different thread in there. I'm going to put down my presser foot and just hit go. And it's going to go around the outer edge of this, which you really can't see well. Okay, it says it's finished sewing, so I can take this out now and of course trim this. Now there it is. Isn't that pretty? All right, so now I can pop this out like that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just cut close around the edge here. Not sure which scissors I want to use yet. Let's see how these will work. Okay, these look like they will work really well. And the nice thing about this leather is you don't need to worry about it fraying or anything. Sometimes I've made my coasters that I actually give away coasters. Usually every year we have a New Year's Eve party, and I usually make coasters for everybody to take home as a souvenir. Lots of times they are fabric, and then sometimes what I do is I even use old recycled blue jeans. So there is the coaster. I still have yet to remove all of the water-soluble stabilizer, but as you can see, this will fit beautifully on the coaster. Let's see if we can show you. And it's really rather nice. So it can be a coaster for hot chocolate. It can be a coaster for an adult beverage, whatever you like. And as you can see, the back looks really nice because I put the extra piece on it. So that's how easy it is to put in some extra stuff if you want to, using Embrilliance. Thanks so much for joining me. Hey, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and comment. I love to read your comments, and I love to see what you guys are making. Check out my Facebook page about sewing and embroidery with Patty Ann if you'd like to post a picture of what you've made. So again, thanks so much. Bye for now.